In the previous task, we create a form for user to make their reservation by selecting start date and end date. Now let's create some test booking first. Right now I'm looking at 20 stacks, so I need to go to the other room to do that. Okay, so I'll just go to room 3, belong to other user. So that's why I can book another booking. Right now, you can't book the end date, so let's go back here, open F, view reservation form, and for now, I just temporarily remove this one, save, go back here, hit refresh, and just make some random booking. The first one should be this, hit book now, alright. Then I'm going to book another one, so let's say 19 to 20, book now. Alright, so now as you can see, I'll just create 2 reservations, but when I open the date picker, for example start date, it doesn't show which dates are unavailable, and that would cause a lot of problems. What we want to do in this session is when the user load this page, and when they click on the date picker, it will disable all the unavailable dates, so that user can't select those dates anymore. So how can we do that? Here is the process of how things work together. Step 1. When you first load the room page, it will send a request to our AJAX code. Step 2. In our AJAX code, we're going to call the preload action of the room's controllers. And inside this preload action, we're going to do 3 things. First, we get the rooms, and then we get all the reservation of that room greater than today. So for example, if we have 2 reservations of that rooms, that you see here, and then we're going to grab all of those reservations and send it back to AJAX code. And from here, we're going to go to step 4, is that it's going to return all the reservation back to the date picker. So that's why in the date picker, it's going to disable all the reservation. So for example, we've got 2 reservations, 14 to 16, and the other one is from 20 to 22. So that's why you can see for those dates are unavailable. And here is what the code looks like. First, here's our AJAX code. And as you can see here, first it says URLs run the preload room path, and it's going to pass the rooms object here. So from here, it's going to run this preload action inside the room controller with the params is the room ID here. So step 1, we get the rooms, so we know what room we are talking about. Step 2, we're going to get all the reservation inside the database of this room, which is start date or end date greater than today. And then we return that reservation in JSON format back to the AJAX code. And the success function here is gonna execute whatever returned from the server. So in this case, this data variable is the reservation. So from here, we're going to look through every single reservation, and we're going to get all the date inside the reservation and push it to the date picker. So that's why in the date picker, you can see those dates are unavailable. Back to our project folder, open F, controller, and rooms controller. Now here, let's say under the update, I'm going to create a new dev, say preload, and let's make some comment here, and it's going to be for reservation. So inside here, first I'm going to get today by saying date.today, and then just create a new variable named reservations equal room dot reservations dot where. So that's mean we're going to get all the reservation belong this room in the database with this condition. First we check start date greater or equal than something, or the end date greater than or equal something, and here we pass today and today. So that means first we're going to get all the reservation for this room with the condition that start date greater than today or the end date greater than today. And then when we got it, we just say render to JSON, and we say reservations. So that means we transform this one to JSON and pass it back to the client. Now remember that whenever we create a new custom action in the controller, we need to tell Rails about that. So let's go here, open the config, rails.rb, and we're gonna put it inside the room. So that's why we say resource preload. All right, make sure that you put it inside the member of the resources rooms. So that means by doing this, we should have the pattern like dot rooms and room ID and the preload. All right, so for this, we will know which room we are talking about based on a room ID here. Next, I want you to open the form from reservations, views reservation form, and let's go back here, and inside this function, first we're going to create a AJAX function just like this, and inside here first we got URL, and we're going to say the preload room path, and we're going to pass the room object, commas, and then we say data type is going to be JSON, commas, and if everything running success, then we run this function with the data returned from the server. And in fact, inside here, I'm going to say for each data function, let's create a new variable named array ID and array value. And here we just need to say console.log, and we're going to pass the array value. All right, just like that, set to 5. Now go back here. I want you to open the Chrome developer tool first by pressing Command Option I and open the console here. And first you see we have nothing. Now if you hit refresh, and let's see what's happening. Okay, and here you can see first it's going to return 2 objects for you, and they are reservation. All right, remember that we made 2 reservations before, once from 13th of June to 15th of June, and the second one from 19 to 20. All right, and if you click here, we got the end date and start date, the price of all those objects. Cool. Let's go back here. What's happening? First, when you load the page, you're going to run the AJAX request to this URL, and these URLs mean, hey, I'm going to run the room controller and run the preload action. Inside here, first, I'm going to get today, and then I'm going to get all the reservation belong to this room with the condition that start date greater than today and or end date greater than today. And then we got 2 reservation returned. All right, and then we put it in a JSON format and pass it back to the client. So that's why here it's the data that we got from server. So if we got loop through every single data in here object, and we pass it as an array value, and so that means every single array value is a reservation object. That's why you see here. So now you understand what's happening. Now the next thing we want to do is you're gonna get every single day of this reservation. So for example, this one we got to start it from 13 to 15. That means we got 13, 14, and 15, etc. Let's go back here. First, I'm going to remove this one. And then I'm going to create a new for loop. And first, just create a new variable named new date. And we pass the array value, let's say start date. And then we say date d less than new date and array value dot end date. Then we got that's the set date, and then we pass a get date plus 1. All right, and inside here we just need to say console.log, and we pass the save it. Now let's go back here, hit refresh. Hey, look at this. So now we just transform two objects of reservation into on the single day belong to those reservations. So we got 13, 14, 19, 15, and we got 19 and 20. So now our job is to make sure that if someone click on the date picker, it's gonna disable those days only on the date picker. Back to our project. Instead of showing those dates in the console just like this, we're going to push them into an array. First, let's create a new unavailable date array. Let's say unavailable dates, and it's going to be an array. And then down here, just remove this one, and we say unavailable date dot push. Here we got the date picker. We got $dot date picker dot format date, and we're going to pass D M and YY, and here we pass the D. Okay, so here you might ask why we use the format DMYY, but down here we use DDMM and YY. Well, very easy. This one here is just for display, so it's going to be display something like 09 September and 2017, just like that. But in here we just need to calculation, so it's going to be simple like 9 of September and 17. All right, makes sense to understand. Okay, now after that we need to create a function for date picker to check if a certain date is unavailable by comparing that date with all the value that we have inside this array. So outside of this function, let's create a new function. Let's say, you can say check date, and we pass a single date, and inside here, let's say we create a new variable named dmy equal date dot get date plus, and then we got the date dot get month, get month plus 1, because months get months start from 0, so that's why we need plus 1, and then we got plus date dot get full year. Okay, and then we returned true or false based on this comparison. So first we say $sign in array, and we're going to pass the dmy of unavailable dates array, and we check -1. Okay, so this function means that I'm going to check this and compare it with every single item in this array, and if I got a match, and return true, otherwise return false. Okay, now the last step would be telling the date picker to disable those unavailable dates. Now we're going to do that by remove this one, just cut and put it right under the H function, paste it here. All right, and inside here for start date, I'm going to say mean date is 0, commas, max date we set to 3 months, and then for the option we say before show day. Then for before show day, we're going to run the check date function. That's we got here, and it's going to pass every single day into this function and check if that day is unavailable, then it's going to disable that day. And we're going to do the same thing with the end date here. Make commas here, paste here. All right, save the file. Make sure that you got those start date and end date picker right under the each loop and still inside the success function. Now go back here and hit refresh. All right, now if you click on the start date, Alright, so we don't seem to get those date disabled. There must be something wrong in here. Now we need to check that. That seems to be good. And let's check the unavailable date. Okay, so here I made a mistake. It should be like that. Oops. Okay, so the format date should get two variables. The first one is the format and then the date that we pass in. Alright, set the 5. Go back here, hit refresh now. Click on start date. Beautiful. Alright, so now as you can see, first we got those date of reservation 1 disabled, those date of reservation 2 disabled. Beautiful. And also you notice that today is the 7th of June, so all the day before today are disabled, and you don't even click in here. You can't even click in here, but you can click next. All right, and you can see that you can click next up to the 7th of September. That is because here we got set min date to 0 and we got max date, that's mean 3 months. So you understand why it's happening. And for the before show day, it's going to run to this function and it's going to pass every single day into this check date function. And like I say, if you can find this single day inside this unavailable dates array, it's going to disable that day. So far we have everything is working perfectly. Now it would be awesome if we, let's say, select 22nd of June, and if we click on end date, then all of the day before 22nd would be disabled. And if we click on, let's say, 24th on end date, and if you click back on start date, then on the day after 24 would be disabled, just like this. And also we want to disable the end date in the first place, so it requires the user should have the click on the start date first. Let's go back here and do the task. First, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back here and inside the end date, I'm going to say disable it and set it true. And down here in the start date, I'm going to say on select function. So that's mean if someone click on here, we're going to run the below function. Let's say selected. So the selected is going to return to the day that you click on it. And here we're going to say the reservation. Oops. Get the div got the ID of reservation end date dot date picker, and we're going to say for the option min date, we set it to selected. Very simple. And I'm going to copy this one, copy, and also we're going to set the attribute of the end date, disable it, and set it to false. Alright, now I'm going to copy this one and do the same things for the end date, but this time we don't need the second one, and I'm going to change this one to start date. And also instead of say min date, we say max date. Alright, save the file. Go back here and hit refresh. Okay, it's moment of truth. And first, if I click on start date, yep, we got everything perfectly. Now let's jump to July. If I click on, let's say 10th of July and end date. Hey, can you see that? So on the day before 10th of July would be disabled. Awesome. Now if I click on, let's say 12th of July, and if I click back here, hey, so all of the day after 12th July would be disabled. And of course you can change the start date back again. Let's say for 5th, go back here. Yep, beautiful. So now we're good with the business logic for the start date. In the next video, we're going to add more logic for reservation on end date picker. I'll see you then.